Welcome back to CBS News Detroit at 4. In today's Health Watch, Michigan health officials are monitoring 3 measles cases across southeast Michigan. The first measles case was reported February 23rd in Oakland County. This was the state's first confirmed case of measles since 2019. The second and third cases were reported just yesterday in Wayne and Washtenaw counties. You can find the exposure sites on our website, cbsdetroit.com. But we want to turn our focus now to founder of Birmingham Pediatrics, Dr. Molly O'Shea, breaking down what you need to know about measles and how to check your vaccination status. Dr. O'Shea, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Happy to be here.
We have a lot of people talking about this right now. For starters, for anyone who doesn't know, can you kind of explain what measles are?
Yeah, measles is a virus that used to be rampant. And back when we were all little, those of us who are old enough, we all got measles when we were young, and then a vaccine became available and the measles virus largely went away. So most people who are old enough now to get their children vaccinated have never even seen measles virus.
How does it spread and how long can the virus live in the air?
Yeah, measles virus spreads from person to person through droplets in the air, much in the way COVID virus does. But unlike COVID, a single tiny particle of measles is enough to infect someone else. It doesn't take a big viral load to infect someone else. A tiny little bit does. And it can live on surfaces for hours at a time. So if you are susceptible to the measles virus, meaning that your immunity against it is low or absent, you are very likely to get measles if you are exposed.
I want to ask you a question about efficacy, because so often you'll hear people who are more hesitant, reluctant to get vaccines make the argument of, if you are vaccinated, if your child's vaccinated, then don't worry about me. But there is only that certain level of efficacy. What is that 1 dose versus 2 doses? I mean, why is there still a level of concern if you followed this health guidance?
Sure. Nothing is 100% in this world. And so people who have received 1 vaccine against measles, about 93% of them will have strong immunity against measles. And once you've received your second dose, 97% of people will be fully immune to the measles virus. But that means 3% of people didn't really respond to the vaccine very well for whatever reason. And those people will still be susceptible to measles if they're exposed. But even beyond that, even if you wanted to get the vaccine, there are some people, for health reasons or because of their age, they just can't receive a live virus vaccine like the measles vaccine. So there are vulnerable people in our community, even if they are very high advocates for vaccination, and they'll be at risk.
That makes sense. Viewers certainly chiming in on this topic a lot here. CBS News Detroit viewers, we asked them to send in questions they had about the virus. A common one that we saw, they want to know about herd immunity. Are most people vaccinated for measles?
Right now in our community, in the Wayne, Oakland, Macomb area, only about 84% of children entering kindergarten have received both doses of measles vaccine. So actually our herd immunity that sounds high, I know, but actually that's pretty low given how contagious measles is. It means that we're at risk for measles spreading more easily in our community than it ever has before. We really need vaccine levels to be over 90% in order to have adequate herd immunity for measles virus.
Is this is just part of the MMR vaccine, correct? There's no way to just measles. Okay, if you got the MMR vaccine as a child, as you just mentioned, those kids in elementary school, how long does that last?
Well, the good news is that if you got 2 doses, you're set. Oh, I gave myself balloons.
I thought you were celebrating those who get 2
Apparently,
doses.
I am celebrating people who get 2 vaccines. Yes, if you get 2 vaccines, you are set. Our immune system is really smart and it remembers things well, especially if you give it that second dose in order to boost that memory. and it will remember it forever. If you only got one dose, though, it's a little dicey. And those of us who are my age, when we went off to college or in late high school, had to get a second dose when there was a measles outbreak in the early 1980s.
We are out of time, but I do want to very quickly ask you, if people don't remember they need to check their vaccination status, where can they turn to?
There are a variety of ways. You can go on the state registry. If you're over 18, you could register yourself on the state registry and check your records. But a lot of times, if you're old enough, you may not see your vaccination status there. It's always safe to get another booster of your MMR. So if you're born before 1994, just get the vaccine.
Okay, the booster is safe. Good to know. Dr. Molly O'Shea, thank you so much. We appreciate your insight and expertise.